Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Enshrouded. So today we're just going to do a little quickie looky at what I did over here. I made ourselves a nice little kind of water feature. Kind of, sort of, because it's, just ice for right now. I did use ice and some snow to get the kind of rapids look. So this here is the flame altar that's the southmost on the Peaceful Acres property here. So I decided to have this be the water feature. I think we discussed that earlier. So just to make it look like the water's coming from this back end over here. Let me try to go into first person. And I'll try not to spin the camera so much. Because I think first person gets a little wiggy when you turn too quick. So yeah, so it's supposed to look like you got some mysterious underground water, coming from the mountaintops through some underground channels. You put some snow here and there to make it look like you got some foaming, like frothing coming up. And in order to get that to blend right and not look like a, like a blob on the surface, I think I mentioned this before with like some other stuff. What you do is, in certain cases, like here, you would like break the surface of the ice and then break one block below the surface of the ice, possibly even 3. And then you would fill that with snow, and then the very top layer of snow will blend with the ice better rather than be a blob on top. And also, when you have spots like where it connects with this rock over here, what you could do is go 2 blocks down and then 1 block over underneath the rock, and then fill that all with snow. And then when you get to this top layer, that will blend a little bit better like that. All right. So you can see here it was a little bit more difficult to do because the altar's here and the rock is over here, so I kind of wanted to make the snow bunch up a bit. And then you have certain sections like here where for some odd reason, instead of giving us snow, it wants to make like a weird little bit of like a grassy texture, I guess. And then you also have this going on over here. You see how it looks like it's like dipping in where the altar is? But if you look, you can see, like, it's not, it's all the same height. Ooh, there was like a hole there, right? Did you guys just see that hole? Is that a hole? Or was that just a weird thing that happened there? I don't know. But look how cool that reflection is of the hologram. Ain't that nifty? Let's see if there it is. What's that? Do I have ice? I don't have ice. I don't want to mess with that, so I won't. So it flows out here, and then you have like this little bit of like falls coming down. I don't know if you remember, like in one of the other episodes, I said I wanted to use the there was like a small dip over here in the ground, so I wanted to use that as the way it went down. And then down here where it comes down, you see we did the same thing with the snow to kind of make it look like it's got like some froth. And I try to make it so look like the water's flowing down here and then it like bunches up over here and piles up over here on this little hillock. And the same thing with the hillock. And then in order to keep the dirt or grass from looking like a big blob on the top, I had to dig 2 spaces down and then place the dirt. And then it make like this nice little grassy spot where it doesn't like bulge up. One of the other issues I noticed with this game is this kind of situation going on here. You see how it's like this weird jaggedy? So this wasn't jaggedy in the beginning. This was a little bit more smoother. And I noticed that the game on certain sections, when the game loads in, as it renders the landscape, these voxels for some reason act a little weird. There's a couple other spots where it happens too. But you can see it does like this weird like jaggedy kind of thing going on. Depending on which direction it's facing. So we're looking like directly like southwest. Right? So I made like a little small pool over here. And as with everything, everything's subject to change with more decorations and stuff like that, right? So this is basically just to look like it's like, draining from up in the mountains somewhere and then it's coming down. You have like this little pool where it kind of splits off into 2 directions. So this direction it comes out here. So we want to imagine that this was like natural, right? We have a natural stream coming out of a cave. It comes down here. It pooled down over here maybe before it ran off the sides over there and, back this way. And perhaps the landscape up here was probably like muddy and dank. And, you know, maybe cause like all the land down there where the houses are to be muddy and dank too. And so when development started over here, maybe the people decided, you know, like, let's kind of divert this water so it's just not saturating the land. And so you have these kind of like canals that I made here with a little step down there. And then we started doing a pathway, because we'll put like a little bridge here, and then you can see back there we'll put like a little in the cliff kind of dwelling, as well as some in the cliff dwellings up there maybe. And then of course up there where that tower is, behind, let me come out of that and then do an arrow so you can see like this chunk of rock right here, and then you have like a kind of open space where the tower is, where you can look over the cliff edge. And then you have this upper piece of kind of rock. And what that does is that creates like a kind of alleyway that's behind this tower that you can't really see from here. I showed it off before. And then there's like a flame shrine up there as well. And that's going to be, I think, where we're going to build a little something next. So I'm kind of interested in that area because it has like that kind of like narrow alleyway shape to it. Alright, so let's continue on. So let's jump in the canal. So I used the timber brick, half timber brick. Did the same thing with the snow, you know, to make it look like it's like, well, you know, it's like kind of frothing up as it falls down, this little drop. We put some bronze fences, I think they are, so that it appears that like kind of control how much debris is getting washed down. Wanted also to make it look like, you know, like some of these houses maybe would like had drainage from the inside to go here. The only thing that really looked like a pipe were these silver cups. Kind of expensive to make because you need to have silver to make them, but they're the only things that looked metal and looked pipey that didn't have like a handle or a spout on them that gave it away as a cup or a pitcher. And the other thing here is you'll notice that the ice kind of wants to do this kind of pillow action. You could even see like I kind of drop down at the edges, right? When I come to the edge, it drops down. Woo, woo. And that's just the thing that happens when the terrain material meets with the blocky material, such as here, and you get weird gaps. So when I originally made this, there was like a kind of like a weird little thin gap where you could kind of see down between the brick and the ice. And in order to do that, I had to do, again, the 2 down and 1 over rule, which means like right at the edge here, I had to break the surface ice, I had to break the ice below that, and then I had to break 1 block underneath the wall, the brick, and then fill all that with ice. And then what that would do is that would cause the ice to connect with the wall better. Still looks a bit janky because it's got this weird pillowy action, but it's better than what we used before, which was that weird glowy blue block and luminous growth to be the foamy stuff. But that didn't really look good because the luminous growth had weird things sticking out of it. So yeah, then again we got a little froth in the corner here because you're supposed to imagine the water's going to come and hit this and then continue on this way. Right? And that brings us to our old ancient head that's been here since before anybody can ever remember, so nobody knows what it is. Right? And so what I did there was I added another gate to catch debris and leaves and stuff, and then I just made this like maybe long ago somebody dug this out to be part of the feature for this. Or maybe this was, who knows, use your imagination. And then we continue on this way, right? Oh, I should, I guess, probably put some snow in that corner there as well. Make it look like it's bunching up. So then, rather than going directly just off the cliff, I decided to do a little something different. And so what happens is it comes here. Oh, I need to put some snow down in here too as well. So it comes down here and then it just flows into this gate and disappears on the ground. Right? And then down here... Alright, let's see if we can jump down here without hurting our ankles. So down here, you can see I just came right up to the border. We have it looking like it's coming out. So it's flowing into the space up top, and then it's like coming through like a little crack in the rock and then coming out over here. So we can imagine this was like a natural feature, like it probably naturally flowed through that crack, and then whoever came down here afterwards and like shored it all up with some bricks and stuff, did this nice little split. So that it drains down into some unforeseen underground caverns or whatever, water system. And this was all done in an effort by the original settlers to kind of dry out the land so that they could build stably build. Dude, don't scare me like that, man. so they could build stable foundations without it sinking into the mud. Look at these hollow guys down here. Why can't I control? There we go. Just got these hollow skeletons just hang out by this nest. It's like a den. They don't even give anything good as loot. Okay, so now we're back at the altar where the water comes down and comes into the little pool and splits off. And so now we'll look this way. And so we have our natural little streamlet. I didn't want to put any rocks or anything in it because I didn't want to go crazy overdoing it because, as I said before, we're already having like a little issue with the pixelation. But I also didn't want to make it look like there should be a reason why the water's building up. Because if you put like a rock in it, then the water's going to bunch up behind it and want to like make a bigger pool. And I didn't want to deal with trying to make all that. Alright, so then it just naturally comes around here, and if you remember from my other videos, you could see it kind of comes into the area where I originally wanted to have a water feature. And again, we do like a little, does like a little step down, comes down here, and then we got like our little falls, and then again, see, doesn't that look cool? That looks so awesome. And then like in certain lighting, it actually looks like it's kind of glinting and flowing. So then we have like ourselves another little pool over here. Right? And now, if you can imagine, now I'm going to have to figure out a different way of doing this path. Because now the path is going to come up here, but now we're going to have this pool of water. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I got to figure that out so I can get up to this place. Or maybe I'll make a path that goes, oh shit, oops, sorry about that. I'll make a path that kind of goes like from the front of this building and that staircase maybe, and then go all the way, maybe that way on the other side of the stables. I don't know, we'll see about that. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, so as you can see, it comes down, steps down little by little as it follows the landscape. And then we're back in the canal because we're back by some houses and stuff. So now we got to tame the stream and keep it from making everything all muddy. Another debris gate. We got some more metal cups to be our piping. Alright, and it comes down here. And then to come over here, I had to adjust this wall over here because the wall would be in the way, and I wanted to still have a way for people to walk over here. Alright, so I removed one panel of wall, and then I put the panel this way instead. And then I had to go use Cheat Engine to find another gate like this one to put here, just so it looked better. And I think I also had to move the wall back one. So there's now a gap behind these chests, but that's okay because I think eventually we're going to turn this into an animal pen of some sort. Then we got our wooden deck bridge over here, and as you can see, I'm probably going to have to put some fences up over here because this lady keeps falling in here and getting stuck, and she's got no way to get out because the NPCs don't know how to jump, I guess. And again, we have it just draining down into some unforeseen underwater network, and who knows where it goes to. Perhaps maybe at some point I might add like another drain down that way where the road is, just to make it look consistent. But yeah, that's I just wanted to show that off and get it out of the way. Maybe you guys can have an idea of how to do stuff. Might need some railings in certain spots. You know, you could do some other kind of things like that around as well. The thing is, you got to have a lot of patience. You know, like this game has such a great building system, but it's very finicky at times. So you just gotta keep practicing all like different ways of doing stuff, different ways of placing stuff. Just to give you an idea of what I mean by that, let's go to our build camera. I'll do just a real quick show you. I won't actually do anything, but I'll just show you. So like, if you notice, like you can have this kind of shape, right? And that's going to give you a really sharp square shape, right? Either way, whether you remove a block or you add a block, it's going to give you a really sharp shape, right? If you go down here and you get this other square, this is going to give you a square, but it's going to give you a rough square. So this is better when you're removing bits of terrain like this, you know? So you get like a more of a rougher wall kind of on the sides, right? More natural looking. And the other thing is like this shape. This is the shape where you used to make the water coming down. Because when you place the ice, it'll give you that nice vertical kind of look to it. But the other important thing is if you notice, right? The shape of the bottom of the block, right, has all these different kind of like angles, right? So what you could do there is if you make a shape that's too, like, so I made like this canal right here, right? So maybe the walls were too sharp and they made too much of an angle, right? So what you do is you take this and you go just right at the edge, right? Just at the edge. So if I were to go like that, right? You see how that land disappeared? So like this cliff right here is like kind of high and sharp, so you could just take just the edge, right? Just the edge. Remove it, and now look at how it blends. It slopes down. See, it adds to the slope a little bit, and you do that all along the edge. Just a little clippy clip. Just a little clippy clip. You're not going all the way in. You're just doing a little clip. Just removing that little clip. Whatever's touching the bottom of that hologram is what you're going to remove. The same thing goes for the rake. Remember, when you're using the rake, right? When you're using the rake, your inner circle is going to be what's affected. Your outer circle is kind of going to be like your guideline, right? But the inner circle is going to be mostly where it's affected. So if you come like to the wall over here, right? Or like say I wanted to extend this. If I put just the edge of the circle inside there, right, that'll affect only that piece of grass that's under that circle, right? Everything on the front end of the circle will end up filling in with grass because there's an empty space on the bottom. But when you're doing stuff like the road and you need to do like just a little clip, like let me see if I could give you for instance. You see how the back end of the circle kind of disappears under the dirt right there? That's letting you know that there's a slope and that part of the land is risen up. So you could use that to your advantage when you're trying to you know, do slopes and stuff like that. So you could say right here it's a little too steep, you know, so you might try to do a little something there, you see? Like that. And see how it kind of shaped it, but then you got like this little lump over here, so then you might want to try to fix that. So what you would do is instead of going up here or instead of going over here, you take it so that you push that back end of the circle just underneath there, and then you'd hit it again. See what I'm saying? Look at how it smoothed it out. You see what I'm saying? And you can keep on, keep on, keep on. So if I go here, it's the same level as most of it's the same level, except there's really back edge. See what I'm saying? See how that smoothed out a little bit more? And you could just keep doing that. But the important thing is to look at that inside ring and see where it kind of disappears under the terrain, and that's how you know kind of how it's going to affect stuff. Yeah. That makes sense. You know, why do I fumble so much like with the buttons for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's my canal. Maybe you guys can get an idea. And remember, like all you need is a little bit of snow and a little bit of ice, and then you could just like, you know, find yourself a spot and spread it out with the rake, and you know, just keep renewing it. You don't have to keep traveling back to the place you originally got it from to get more. You know, if you're gonna mine it either way, so you're gonna use your pickaxe either way, so you might as well like use the rake to spread it around over here at your base and not have to keep traveling back and forth with it. Can we get up? Can we get up? Ugh. No, we can't. Yeah. So, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of that, you know? I'm still trying to figure out my camera. I know somebody was feeling a little sick with the motion sickness. Maybe you need Dramamine or something when you're watching a video. Or those special glasses. Nobody's really complaining about that too much. But I can understand it. Because I could see, like, if I swing this camera a lot, I can see myself that it, you know, like the graphics render does a weird, like, blur thing. And that kind of bugs my eyes out a bit. So, but it's really hard to not move fast, you know. Even if I turn my, my sensitivity down, it's really hard to not just be like, wow, you know. And one other person said that they couldn't really, like, see some of the details that I was showing off because I was just, like moving away from them too quickly. So I got to learn how to focus a little bit more on the smaller details before I, like, move off. The thing is I don't want to keep the videos, making the videos to be getting too long, you know? Because then, just like that happy medium. You don't want a really short video, but you don't want a really long video, you know? Because then you lose interest, right? So I think, like, what we're going to do next is we're going to probably figure out what's going on with this little piece of ruin house over here. And I'm going to look through my... Maybe we'll do something with this little spot over here. And then I'm going to look through my paperwork to see what kind of other house examples I have that I can probably maybe use up here in the cliff alleyway dwelling that I want to do, or maybe some of these other spots, because I do want to put something up on top of that mountain as well. And as well as a way to get up there without having to walk all the way around out of the territory. Because in order to get up there, you have to go out of the territory, which means I can't do... There's a part of the pathway up there that I won't be able to alter. So, okay, we're going to call it there. We keep it nice and quick. Thanks for looking. Oh, yeah, we got the Cyclops. This was a pain in the ass. One of his legs was such a pain in the ass that every Cyclops was okay to fight except there's one leg dude, because one leg dude was like in this place of ice, so it was really hard to like keep my footing and dodge and be able to like, you know, like run up, slap him, and then run away, because you run up and slap him and then you're doing like that cartoon thing where you're like running in place for a couple seconds and he's got like an opportunity to kind of hit you before you can get away. So that was a kind of a salty run for me. But I got them all. I also got the 3 crystal things from one of the hollow halls, and I got 3 urn things from one of the other hollow halls. So I think the Kindle Waste hollow halls has the 3 like kind of books or tomes that I would need also, and then build like a nice maybe place where we keep Laura that she could run. Since she's got no house, she's been hanging out here like with no home this whole time. She was just living in this like alley as a homeless person. All right, so anyway, let's see what else we could do. I'm trying to think. We still got Jeff over here. Jeff looks like he's having a hard time. Sorry, Jeff. But anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry if the camera motion is making anybody sick. I could see like right now it's like doing a weird thing. And we'll try to come back to it. Probably gonna play some other games. See, look, this is one of the things that I'm talking about. You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like when the game like loads in, it does some weird rendering thing over here. See, is it a hole? And the thing is, it's like the rake. I don't know if I can. Did that mess anything up? No, it didn't. Oh. It didn't, but it didn't really do anything to that hole, so it's just like a weird graphics thing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you guys a lot. Dude, over 100. We got like 106 subs now. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Crazy. Alright, bye-bye.